Hello, welcome to the Learn English Lab. Today's podcast, English Listening Practice Podcast, topic name is Advanced C1 Level Wordlist Animals. Welcome to the deep dive. We're thrilled you're joining us.
Great to be diving in again.
Yeah, this is where we take a whole lot of information, sometimes from sources you listeners send us, and boil it all down.
Right, getting to the core insights, the fascinating bit.
Exactly. We want to give you that shortcut to being really well-informed, without getting totally swamped by data. Straight to what counts.
And today's deep dive is, I think, particularly fascinating. We're exploring an advanced C1 level word list, all centered on the animal kingdom.
Animals, right, but it's more than just vocab lists, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. This isn't about rote memorization. It's about understanding the concepts behind the words, the biology, the behaviors, the ecological roles.
So digging deeper.
Precisely. Our mission today is to unpack these terms and see how they reveal the incredibly diverse lives and strategies of creatures all over the planet, hopefully leading to some real aha moments for you.
Fantastic. And the value for you listening is getting this knowledge quickly, enhancing how you understand and even talk about the animal world.
Couldn't have said it better.
All right, let's kick things off. We're starting with some fundamental biological ideas, life strategies, beginning with something really basic but crucial: body temperature.
Yes, how animals regulate their internal temperature. It's a primary dividing line.
So first up, cold-blooded. What does that actually mean for an animal?
Okay, so when we say cold-blooded, we're talking about animals whose body temperature essentially mirrors their surroundings. It fluctuates.
They don't control it internally.
Not really, no. They rely on external sources, the sun, warm rocks, water to heat up. The scientific terms are poikilothermy or ectothermy. Think lizards, snakes, amphibians too, like frogs and salamanders.
Right. So how does that core difference, relying on the outside world for warmth, actually shape their lives? Does it limit where they can live?
Profoundly.
Yeah.
It influences almost everything. Because they can't generate significant internal heat, they have to use behavior to manage temperature.
Like seeing a lizard sunbathing.
Exactly that. Basking on a sun-drenched rock in the morning. That kickstarts their metabolism, gets them active.
And if it gets too hard?
Then they do the opposite. They'll seek shade, burrow underground, maybe even go into water to cool off. Their activity level is directly tied to the temperature.
So if it's cold, they just slow down?
Pretty much. They become sluggish, lethargic. In extreme cold, they might enter torpor or hibernation, basically shutting down to conserve energy until it warms up again.
That must really dictate where they can live then, right? Mostly warmer places?
Largely, yes. Their geographic distribution is heavily influenced by climate. It's this constant, delicate balancing act. Managing temperature affects hunting, breeding, everything.
Okay. Now, the other side of the coin. Warm-blooded animals. What's their strategy?
Warm-blooded animals, the homeotherms or endotherms, have this incredible ability to maintain a stable internal body temperature. It's usually higher than their surroundings, and they generate that heat themselves.
Oh, through their metabolism.
Yes. Essentially by burning fuel to food they eat. All mammals, from the biggest whale to the smallest mouse, and all birds, they all fall into this category.
And it's pretty amazing how this lets them live in such different places, even really extreme ones.
It truly is. The big advantage of being warm-blooded, or endothermic, is freedom from the environment's temperature swings.
So they can thrive almost anywhere.
Pretty much. From scorching deserts to freezing polar regions, think of whales in icy oceans, or birds flying through Arctic winds.
And they can be active whenever, right? Day or night.
Exactly. Their internal thermostat allows for sustained high activity levels regardless of the outside temperature. They can hunt, migrate, raise young whenever needed.
But there must be a downside. Does it take a lot of energy?
A huge amount. Maintaining the constant high temperature is very energy intensive. That's the major cost.
So they need to eat a lot more.
Far more than a cold-blooded animal of similar size. They need constant fuel for that internal furnace. And that's why you see adaptations like fur, feathers, or blubber insulation to help conserve that precious body heat.
Okay, when we were talking about cold-blooded animals, you mentioned amphibians. They seem like a really interesting bridge group.
They really are. Amphibian literally means both kinds of life. They are cold-blooded vertebrates, but they're uniquely adapted for life, both on land and in water. Frogs, toads, salamanders.
Like the African clawed frog someone might keep as a pet.
That's a perfect example, yeah. It showcases that dual habitat existence.
And they go through that amazing change, metamorphosis, right?
They absolutely do. It's a defining feature. They usually start as aquatic larvae, think tadpoles with gills.
Breathing underwater.
Right. Then, through hormonal changes, they transform, develop lungs, lose tails, grow limbs, ready for life on land.
But they still need water, or moisture at least?
Critically important. They need moist environments because their skin is permeable. It allows gases and water through.
So they can breathe through their skin.
Yes, that's called cutaneous respiration. Oxygen in, carbon dioxide out, directly through the skin. But for that to work, the skin has to stay moist. It makes them very vulnerable to drying out and pollution.
Wow, so it's a really delicate balance for them between land and water.
A very delicate balance, essential for their survival.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. From how animals manage their bodies, let's talk about what they eat, dietary classifications, and their ecological roles. First up, the carnivores.
Right, the meat eaters. A carnivore is an animal whose diet is primarily meat. They usually have specific adaptations for this.
Like sharp teeth.
Sharp teeth, yes. Prominent canines, shearing carnassial teeth in many mammals. And digestive systems designed specifically to process animal protein and fat efficiently. Lions, wolves, tigers, those are your classic carnivores.
When you say a formidable carnivore, like a tiger,
Yeah.
beyond just being a powerful hunter, what's their bigger role in the ecosystem?
That's a crucial point. Carnivores, especially apex predators like tigers, are absolutely vital for ecological balance. They regulate populations of herbivores and smaller animals.
Preventing them from eating everything.
Exactly. They prevent overgrazing, which could devastate habitats. This control creates what's called a trophic cascade. Their presence affects everything down the food chain.
And the tiger itself, what makes it so formidable?
It's a suite of adaptations. Incredible stealth for stalking, powerful jaws strong enough to crush bones sometimes, sharp retractable claws, and exceptionally keen senses, sight, hearing, smell, all make them incredibly efficient hunters. They're not just eating, they're shaping the entire ecosystem.
Okay, so on the other end of the spectrum, we have the herbivores, the plant eaters.
Correct. A herbivore's diet consists mainly of plants, and their digestive systems are quite specialized too, but in a different way. They need to break down tough plant material, especially cellulose.
Which is hard to digest.
Very. So you have animals like deer, elephants, and of course the giraffe, all herbivores.
That image of a giraffe stretching its long neck for leaves is so iconic. What kind of strategies do herbivores use for a plant-only diet?
They have diverse strategies. The giraffe's neck is a great example of a physical adaptation, morphological, allowing it to reach food others can't. Less competition.
And what about digestion?
Some, like cows and deer, are ruminants. They have multi-chambered stomachs with bacteria that ferment and break down cellulose. Others, like horses, are hindgut fermenters, doing a similar process further down the digestive tract.
So it's a complex process.
Very complex, and it often means they have to eat large quantities of plant matter.
Right.
They spend a lot of their time just eating and processing food. It's a whole different set of challenges compared to carnivores.
And then bridging that gap, we find the omnivores.
Yes, the omnivore, an animal that eats both plants and other animals. This dietary flexibility gives them amazing adaptability. Think bears, humans, and the very resourceful raccoon.
Ah, the raccoon rummaging through bins or finding berries. That definitely shows versatility. How does being an omnivore boost survival chances?
It's all about options. If one food source runs low, maybe berries are out of season or rodents are scarce, they can just switch to something else that is available.
So they're less vulnerable to environmental changes.
Significantly. It makes them much more resilient in fluctuating environments where specialists might really struggle. It does make you wonder, though.
What evolutionary pressures lead to that?
Exactly. Why become an omnivore? Often it's about unpredictable resources or occupying a niche where you can exploit different food levels. It gives them a broader ecological footprint.
Makes sense. Okay, moving on slightly. Let's talk about origins and adaptation within ecosystems. The term indigenous.
Right. Indigenous, as an adjective, describes plants or animals that naturally originated in a specific region. They haven't been introduced from somewhere else by people.
So they're truly native.
Precisely. They've evolved and adapted to that specific place over a very long time. The example in the notes mentions orchids, indigenous flowers, but it applies just the same to animals.
What does it really mean for an animal to be indigenous, and why is protecting them so important for conservation?
Being indigenous means having deep evolutionary roots in that environment. They've co-evolved with the local climate, geology, other native species. It's a long, long process of adaptation.
And protecting them.
It's crucial because they are the fundamental building blocks of that ecosystem. They're woven into the food webs, the nutrient cycles. Introducing non-indigenous species, especially invasive ones, can be catastrophic.
Oh, so?
They can outcompete native wildlife, disrupt food chains, bring in diseases, sometimes even drive indigenous species to extinction. So protecting indigenous populations isn't just about saving one animal, it's about preserving the entire complex web of life that naturally belongs there. It's about ecosystem health.
That really puts it into perspective. Okay, let's shift focus again now to animal behaviors, survival strategies, and their environments. Starting with that classic dynamic, predator and prey.
A fundamental interaction. A predator is simply an animal that hunts and eats other animals, usually carnivores or omnivores. They play a critical role in ecosystem balance.
Like the jaguar you mentioned earlier, master of ambush, powerful jaws.
Exactly. The jaguar in its South American rainforest habitat is a perfect example. Powerful jaws, keen senses. A true apex predator.
How critical is that predator role in the bigger picture in the food chain, and what makes the jaguar so effective?
Predators are absolutely essential. They often target weaker or older individuals, which helps keep the prey population healthy and resilient. It prevents overpopulation, which could strip resources bare.
Natural selection in action.
In a way, yes. As for the jaguar, its adaptations are remarkable. Its bite force is incredibly strong for its size. It can bite through skulls or turtle shells, a unique killing method among big cats. Add its stealth, its ability to climb and swim well. It's a versatile and deadly hunter at the top of its food chain.
And then the other side of that equation, the prey.
Prey, the animal that gets hunted and eaten. And these species have evolved just as many incredible ways to avoid being eaten. Defensive adaptations are key.
Like the zebra, relying on senses in the herd.
Precisely. Zebras on the African savanna, common prey for lions, rely heavily on sharp senses, sight and hearing, and the safety of the herd to detect danger and hopefully escape.
So it's like a constant evolutionary arms race. What kinds of defenses do prey use?
It absolutely is an arms race, a dynamic back and forth. Prey defenses are incredibly varied. Speed is obvious, gazelles, zebras outrunning danger. Camouflage is huge, which we should talk more about.
Definitely.
Chemical defenses like a skunk spray. And then there's herd behavior safety in numbers.
How does the herd help specifically?
Several ways. More eyes and ears mean better detection. There's the dilution effect, your individual risk is lower in a big group. And the confusion effect, lots of moving targets make it hard for a predator to focus on one. The zebra really highlights that need for vigilance and collective safety.
Okay, let's dive into camouflage then. You said this is where it gets really interesting.
It really is amazing. So to camouflage is the verb to blend in by matching color, pattern, or shape. An animal that's done this successfully is camouflaged. It's a vital survival strategy used both by prey hiding from predators and predators hiding from prey.
Like the stick insect looking like a twig, or a chameleon changing color.
Classic examples, the stick insect mimicking a twig perfectly, or the chameleon shifting from green to brown to match the bark.
It seems so much more complex than just color, though, the brilliance of it.
It is. It's often about texture, disruptive patterns that break up the body's outline, even behavior. Think about the stick insect again. It doesn't just look like a twig. It might even sway gently like one in a breeze. That's mimesis.
Wow.
Then there's counter shading, darker on top, lighter underneath to blend with light and shadow. It can be incredibly seamless, making that chameleon practically invisible to passing predators, as the notes say.
So how does it help both sides, predator and prey?
For prey, it's obvious avoid being seen, avoid being eaten. For predators, it's about surprise, ambush, getting close enough for a successful attack without being detected first. Think of a leopard in dappled sunlight, or that snow leopard against rocks, essential for their hunting success.
Fascinating. Then there are animals that undertake these huge journeys. They migrate.
Yes, to migrate. That means moving from one region to another, usually seasonally, often following food sources, seeking better weather, or finding suitable places to breed. It's a major survival strategy for coping with environmental changes.
Like the wildebeest crossing the Serengeti.
That's one of the most spectacular examples, yes. Following the rains and fresh grass every year.
The endurance and navigation needed must be incredible. How do they even manage these long journeys?
It's truly astounding. Some migrations cover thousands of miles. Think Arctic terns flying pole to pole, or monarch butterflies crossing continents.
How do they find their way?
They use a whole toolkit of cues. The Earth's magnetic field seems to act like an internal compass for some. They use the sun's position, the stars at night, familiar smells, maybe even sounds we can't hear. It's incredibly complex.
And it's essential for many species.
Absolutely, especially where food is seasonal or breeding grounds are specific. If you look at the big picture, migration shows adaptation on a massive scale, connecting ecosystems across vast distances.
While some animals travel far, others just operate on a different schedule. They're nocturnal.
Right. Nocturnal means primarily active at night. Hunting, foraging, socializing after sunset, and resting during the day. They need special adaptations for this.
Like better night vision.
Enhanced night vision is key, yes. Think of owls gliding silently, their large eyes seeming to glow in the dark. They're a classic example.
What are the upsides of being nocturnal? And the challenges?
Advantages include avoiding daytime heat, especially in deserts, and escaping competition with daytime animals. Plus, fewer visual predators might be active at night.
And the challenges? Finding food in the dark.
Exactly. So they evolve incredible senses. Hearing is often extremely acute. An owl's asymmetrical ears help pinpoint prey sounds perfectly. Smell is vital for many. And some, like bats, use echolocation bouncing sound waves off objects to see.
What about those glowing eyes?
That's caused by a reflective layer behind the retina, the tapetum lucidum. It bounces light back through the retina, amplifying it, which really boosts their vision in low light. Gives them that memorable look, too.
Okay, so not all animals are active hunters. Some have a different but vital role. The scavengers?
Yes, the cleanup crew. A scavenger feeds on dead or decaying matter carrion, animals killed by others or died naturally. They play a crucial, if sometimes overlooked, role.
How so? Cleaning up?
Yes, they're vital for cleaning up carcasses, which prevents the spread of disease. Think of vultures circling overhead, or hyenas taking advantage of a lion's leftovers.
They really do sound like nature's recyclers. What would happen without them?
Ecosystems would look very different and probably much less healthy. Carcasses would pile up, becoming breeding grounds for bacteria and disease. Scavengers are also key decomposers, breaking down organic matter and returning nutrients to the soil. It's essential for the whole system.
Do they have special senses for finding carcasses?
Often, yes. Some vultures have an incredible sense of smell, detecting decaying matter from miles away. It shows how every niche, even one feeding on the dead, is critical for a balanced ecosystem.
Speaking of potent abilities, let's talk about venomous animals.
Right. Venomous describes an animal that produces toxins, venom, and injects it, usually to immobilize prey or for defense, delivered via fangs, stingers, that sort of thing.
Like a rattlesnake? Hissing, rattling its tail?
A perfect example. The rattle is a warning before it potentially strikes with its venomous bite.
How did evolution create such complex and dangerous toxins?
That's a fascinating process.
No.
Venom is a complex cocktail of proteins and enzymes, finely tuned over millions of years to target specific systems in the victim.
Like the nervous system?
Yes, neurotoxins. Or the blood system, hemotoxins. Or tissues, cytotoxins. Evolution has honed these venoms to be incredibly efficient for their purpose, quickly subduing prey or delivering a painful warning to deter a predator.
So it's an efficient tool for them.
Very efficient. Allows smaller animals to tackle larger prey or defend themselves without a prolonged, risky fight. The rattlesnake's venom, for instance, is a potent nix, highly effective for both hunting and defense.
Okay, let's shift to communication. A very basic sound, to growl.
To growl, that low, rumbling sound from the throat. It's almost always a warning or a sign of aggression or displeasure. Think of a dog growling, or like the example, a lion asserting dominance.
How does that simple sound work so effectively as a signal in social animal?
It's a very clear, unambiguous signal, usually accompanied by body language too, lowered head, bared teeth, maybe raised fur. It communicates back off, I'm not happy, or this is mine, very clearly.
So it can prevent actual fights?
Often, yes. Within a social group like a wolf pack or lion pride, growls help establish and maintain hierarchies, warn off rivals, protect young. All without necessarily escalating to physical violence, which is risky for everyone. It's an effective way to manage social interactions.
And where do many animals find safety and shelter? In a den.
A den. A hidden shelter could be a burrow, a cave, thick brush where a wild animal lives. Especially important for predators. It provides safety, a place to rest, and critically, a place to raise young.
Like rabbits digging burrows.
Exactly. Rabbits create extensive burrow systems called warrens, which function as dens for shelter and raising their young, concealed from threats.
So it's much more than just a home. It sounds strategically important.
It absolutely is. Strategically vital. It offers protection from predators, especially for vulnerable young. It shields them from bad weather, heat, cold, rain, and nursery.
A safe base.
A safe base, exactly. The concealment is key. Makes it hard for rivals or predators to find them. For many animals, a good den is fundamental to survival and successfully raising the next generation.
All right, let's dive into some specific mammals now, starting with a group that includes some surprising members, rodents.
Rodents, a huge order of mammals, mostly small, but the defining feature isn't size, it's their teeth.
Their front teeth.
Yes, one pair of continuously growing front teeth, incisors, in both the upper and lower jaw. Perfect for gnawing. We all know mice, rats, hamsters are rodents, but there are others that surprise people.
Okay, you mentioned porcupines earlier. That is surprising. How do animals as different as a mouse and a porcupine fit in the same group?
It really does throw people. But porcupines, along with beavers, guinea pigs, even capybaras, the world's largest rodent, all share that key feature: the ever-growing incisors.
And they have to keep gnawing to wear them down.
Constantly. If they didn't gnaw on hard things, wood, nuts, roots, their teeth would grow too long, they wouldn't be able to eat, and they'd starve. So that gnawing isn't just a habit, it's essential for survival. That shared dental feature is what unites this incredibly diverse group.
Fascinating. Okay, from rodents, let's move to some larger, highly social primates, starting with baboons.
Baboons. Large monkeys, mostly found on the ground, with those characteristic dog-like faces and big teeth. They live in Africa and parts of Asia, known for very complex group behavior and being highly adaptable.
And the young ones cling to their mothers.
Yes, you often see infants clinging tightly to their mother's fur. It's about protection and transport within the troop.
What does complex group behaviors really mean for them? What does being social primates tell us about their intelligence?
It implies a high degree of intelligence and incredibly intricate social lives. Baboons live in large troops, sometimes over 100 strong, with clear hierarchies and sophisticated communication.
How do they communicate?
Vocally barks, grunts, shrieks. But also through facial expressions, body postures, gestures. They practice allo-grooming, grooming each other, which is important for hygiene, but also strengthens social bonds.
Do they learn from each other?
Absolutely. They show problem-solving skills, social learning, even what looks like basic forms of cooperation or politics within the troop. That image of the infant clinging highlights the strong maternal care and social bonds crucial for raising young in such a complex, often competitive society.
Another very powerful primate, the gorilla.
Gorillas, the largest primates, dark fur, native to African forests, also highly social, living in tight-knit family groups, usually led by a dominant male, the silverback. And they're primarily herbivores.
That chest beating they do, it's such an iconic display. How does that function as communication?
It's a classic example of a powerful non-vocal display. Usually led by the silverback, it's an assertion of strength and dominance.
A warning.
It can be a warning to rivals, a way to reinforce his position in the group, or sometimes just excitement. The social structure is very clear. The silverback leads, protects the group, makes decisions.
And they eat plants.
Mostly, yes. Leaves, stems, bamboo, fruits. Their large size is fueled by consuming large quantities of vegetation available in their forest homes. Their presence and social structure dominate their environment.
Okay, let's hop over to Madagascar now for a unique primate found only there. The lemur.
Lemurs. Fascinating group. Small primates, long tails, usually large eyes. And yes, endemic to Madagascar, found nowhere else naturally.
Living in trees mostly.
Most are arboreal, yes, living in the trees. They're known for unique calls and varied social behaviors. You might picture one swinging through branches using those big eyes to spot fruit.
Being found only on Madagascar is quite special, isn't it? What does that tell us about how they evolved?
It's extraordinary. Madagascar split off from mainland Africa and India a very long time ago. This isolation allowed lemurs to evolve and diversify into over 100 different species without competition from monkeys and apes found elsewhere. It's an evolutionary showcase.
And their features help them in the trees.
Definitely. The long tail is crucial for balance. The large eyes help many species see in low light, as lots are nocturnal or active at dawn and dusk, crepuscular. And their unique vocalizations, from soft purrs to loud howls, suggest complex communication systems. Sadly, being endemic makes them incredibly vulnerable to habitat loss.
A fragile situation.
Okay.
From primates to large herbivores and their ecosystem impact. First, the buffalo.
Buffalo. Large, plant-eating members of the cow family with those impressive curved horns, found in Africa and Asia. Often seen as symbols of strength and resilience, and they're very important ecologically and culturally.
You mentioned cultural significance. It seems the buffalo is more than just an animal in many places. How does that connection play out?
It's a really strong connection in many cultures. In North America, the bison, often called buffalo, was central to the lives and spirituality of many indigenous peoples, symbolizing strength, abundance, life itself. In Asia, water buffalo are vital for agriculture, representing hard work and prosperity.
And ecologically, as large grazers.
They play a keystone role. By eating huge amounts of grass, they shape grasslands, prevent shrubs from taking over, and encourage new plant growth. Their movements create paths, their wallows hold water, affecting the whole landscape and supporting other species. They're ecosystem engineers.
Another iconic large herbivore, but one facing terrible threats. The rhinoceros.
The rhino. Huge, thick-skinned, plant-eating mammal with 1 or 2 horns on its nose. Native to Africa and southern Asia. And yes, tragically, critically endangered because of poaching.
It's heartbreaking. What are the specific threats driving them towards extinction, and why are those horns so coveted?
The overwhelming threat is illegal poaching. It's driven by demand, mainly in some Asian markets, where rhino horn is mistakenly believed to have potent medicinal properties, curing everything from hangovers to cancer, or is used as a status symbol.
But it's just keratin, like fingernails, right?
Exactly. It's made of keratin, the same stuff as our hair and nails. There's no scientific basis for the medicinal claims. But the belief fuels a multi-million-dollar black market.
So conservation efforts are crucial.
Absolutely critical. Anti-poaching patrols, community involvement, habitat protection, and major international efforts to reduce demand and stop the trafficking. The rhino situation is a stark warning about how human actions can decimate wildlife.
From land giants to a semi-aquatic one, the hippopotamus, powerful presence.
Hippos. Huge African mammals, thick skin, massive jaws, big tusks. They live near water, spending most of their days submerged. Semi-aquatic, and known for being quite aggressive and territorial.
Why are they so dominant and sometimes dangerous in their watery homes?
Their semi-aquatic life is key. Water keeps their skin cool and protected. They're adapted for moving in water. They come out mostly at night to graze on land.
And the aggression.
They are very territorial, especially males defending their stretch of river and mothers protecting calves. Their sheer size up to 300 pounds, plus those huge jaws that open incredibly wide, and sharp tusks make them formidable. They can easily defend against rivals, even crocodiles. Ecologically, they also shape their environment, creating paths and cycling nutrients between land and water.
Okay, moving to something much more sleek and speedy. The antelope.
Antelopes. Swift, graceful, hoofed mammals. Slender legs, usually horns. Found across Africa and Asia. Known for agility and speed, often living in herds to help avoid predators. Seeing one leap effortlessly across the savanna to escape a cheetah is quite a sight.
Let's connect those physical traits, slender legs, speed, directly to their survival strategy, and why live in herds in those open areas.
Their bodies are built for evasion, slender legs for speed and long strides, lightweight build for agility, quick turns, sudden leaps. Speed and maneuverability are their main defenses against predators like cheetahs.
And the herd.
Living in herds provides major advantages. More eyes and ears mean better predator detection. There's the safety in numbers, the dilution effect, and the confusion effect when they all scatter, making it hard for a predator to pick one target. It's a highly effective strategy in open habitats with little cover.
And a specific type of antelope, maybe the most famous for speed and grace, is the gazelle.
Gazelles. Yes, a type of antelope, but generally smaller, more slender, with those elegantly curved horns. Renowned for incredible speed and grace, found in Africa and Asia. Agile herbivores relying almost purely on speed to escape predators on open plains, dodging a leopard bounding across the landscape.
How do they manage those amazing dodging moves at high speed? It looks almost impossible.
It's incredible biomechanics. They combine sheer speed with amazing agility. Lightweight bodies, powerful leg muscles, flexible spines allow for rapid acceleration and near-instant direction changes, even at full tilt.
Outmaneuvering predators?
Exactly. Plus, some gazelles perform that strange bounding leap called called stotting or pronking, jumping straight up with all four legs stiff.
Why do they do that?
It's thought to be an honest signal to predators, basically showing off how fit and fast they are, as if saying, look how high I can jump, you can't catch me, don't even bother chasing. It's a fascinating combination of physical prowess and signaling.
All right, let's turn to some top hunters now. Apex predators, specifically the big cats. First, the powerful jaguar.
The jaguar, largest cat in the Americas. Yellow fur with those distinctive black spots called rosettes, native to Central and South America. True apex predators, known for stealth and an exceptionally powerful bite. Masters of ambush.
What kind of hunting techniques make them masters of ambush? And how does that bite cement their top predator status?
Jaguars rarely chase prey over long distances. They stalk silently, using dense cover or water, then launch a sudden, explosive attack. They often hunt near water.
And the bite?
Their bite force is the strongest of any big cat relative to size. They can bite directly through the skull of their prey or pierce thick hides like a caiman's or a turtle's shell. It's a unique killing method among cats. Incredibly efficient. This power, plus their stealth and adaptability, they climb and swim well, makes them undisputed apex predators in their domain.
Next, the much more elusive cougar.
The cougar, also known as mountain lion, puma, lots of names. Large cat, tawny fur, found across the Americas, often in mountains, but very adaptable. Solitary predators with huge territories.
That example of just seeing its tail vanish, it really captures how elusive they are. Why are they typically solitary?
It mostly comes down to their hunting strategy. Stealth and surprise work best alone. They also need large territories to find enough prey, especially in rugged areas. Being solitary reduces competition with other cougars for those resources.
So they're hard to spot.
Incredibly hard.
Yeah.
They move silently, often aware of humans long before we see them. Their stealth, power, and adaptability make them awe-inspiring, slightly intimidating predators.
And then there's the panther. You said this gets interesting because of a common misconception.
Yes, this is a really common point of confusion. A panther isn't actually a separate species. The term usually refers to a melanistic individual one with black fur of either the leopard in Asia, Africa, or the jaguar in the Americas.
So a black leopard or a black jaguar is what people often mean by panther.
Exactly. They still have the spots or rosettes, but the background fur is so dark you often can't see them unless the light hits just right. It's a genetic variation causing excess black pigment.
Does being black give them any advantage, like for hunting? Or are there downsides?
That's the million-dollar question. It's possible the dark coat helps with camouflage in dense forests or low light, maybe improving hunting success. But there might be downsides too, perhaps harder to regulate temperature in hot sun or less camouflage in open areas. It's a fascinating example of genetic variation within a species. Even though they're solitary, they meet to mate, passing on this trait.
Okay, now for the speed king, the cheetah.
The cheetah, instantly recognizable with its spotted coat, lean build, found in Africa, famously the fastest land animal on Earth, can hit speeds over 60, maybe even 70 miles per hour in short bursts.
Incredible speed. That's their main hunting tool.
Absolutely. They rely on breathtaking acceleration and agility to chase down prey, usually in open grasslands. Picturing that sprint across the savanna is iconic.
What physical adaptations allow that incredible speed? And you mentioned trade-offs earlier. What are they for the cheetah?
They're built for speed. A super flexible spine for long strides. Claws that don't fully retract, acting like running spikes for grip. Lightweight body, small head, long tail for balance during high-speed turns. Large nostrils and lungs for oxygen intake.
But the trade-offs.
They're sprinters, not marathon runners. Those bursts are intense and they overheat quickly. They also lack the strength of other big cats. They can't defend their kills well.
So other predators steal their food?
Frequently. Lions, hyenas, even vultures can bully a cheetah off its kills. It's called kleptoparasitism. So their extreme specialization for speed comes at the cost of strength and stamina, impacting their place in the ecosystem.
Fascinating balance. Okay, let's move to some other unique mammals and their quirks, starting with the badger.
Badgers. Stout, nocturnal mammals from the weasel family. Short legs, gray fur, often those distinctive facial stripes. Known for digging skills and using scent for communication.
Tell us more about their digging. It seems central to their lives. And being nocturnal.
Being nocturnal helps them avoid predators and find food like earthworms that are more active at night. And digging is absolutely fundamental. They are master excavators. They build extensive underground burrow systems called setts.
What are the setts for?
Shelter from weather, protection from predators, and safe places to raise their young. Their strong claws are also essential for digging up food underground, and they use scent glands to produce a musky odor for marking territory and communicating with other badgers who's around if they're ready to mate, etc. Chemical signals are key for them.
Next, the highly adaptable coyote.
Coyotes. North American wild dog, smaller than a wolf, incredibly adaptable, thriving in all sorts of habitats, and they play a surprisingly important role in controlling pest populations.
They sometimes get a bad rap. What makes them so adaptable, and what's that overlooked ecological benefit?
Their adaptability comes from a flexible diet. They'll eat almost anything. Rodents, rabbits, insects, fruit, carrion, and a flexible social structure. They can be solitary, in pairs, or small family groups. That lets them live anywhere from wilderness to suburbs, even cities.
And the benefit.
While sometimes seen as pests themselves, they are major predators of rodents like mice and gophers and rabbits. By keeping those populations in check, they provide a significant ecological service, preventing damage to crops and potentially limiting disease spread. It shows how even animals with mixed reputations play vital roles.
From one North American native to another with a very famous defense, the skunk.
Skunks. Small, also from the weasel family. Instantly known for the black and white stripes, and of course that powerful, unpleasant odor used for defense.
That spray is legendary. What makes it so effective?
It truly is one of nature's most effective defenses. The spray is a mix of sulfur-containing chemicals called phenols. It's incredibly pungent, irritating, can cause temporary blindness, and the smell lingers for days. Most predators learn very quickly to avoid anything with those black and white stripes.
Do they warn first?
Yes, they usually give warnings, stamping feet, hissing, raising their tail before resorting to spraying. They can aim it quite accurately too, up to 10 or 15 feet. But beyond the spray, they can be quite curious and playful animals too.
Good to remember. Okay, down to southern Africa for the very vigilant meerkat.
Meerkats, small mammals from the mongoose family, famous for that upright posture, living in cooperative groups, extremely vigilant against predators, with individuals acting as sentinels. Picture one standing guard on a rock, scanning for danger while the others forage.
That sentinel duty really shows a highly organized social structure, doesn't it? How does that cooperation work?
It's a fantastic example of altruism and cooperation. Meerkats live in groups called mobs or gangs. They take turns acting as sentinels, watching for predators from a high vantage point.
And they warn the others.
Yes, if they spot danger, an eagle, a jackal, they give specific alarm calls, and everyone dashes for their burrows. This shared vigilance lets the rest of the group forage and care for young more safely. It's all about collective benefit, enhancing survival for the whole group. They even teach their young hunting skills.
Amazing cooperation. Lastly, for this section, the armadillo with its unique armor.
Armadillos. Small to medium mammals native to the Americas. Instantly recognizable by that bony, armored shell made of plates. They also dig a lot.
That shell seems like an obvious defense. Does it help with digging too?
The shell is primarily for defense, absolutely. Many species can roll into a tight ball, protecting their soft underside. It makes them very hard for predators to bite. But you're right, the rigidity of the shell, combined with their strong claws, likely helps brace them while they dig powerfully.
What are they digging for?
Mostly insects, grubs, invertebrates hidden underground. That's their main food. The burrows they dig also provide essential shelter from predators and extreme temperatures. So the armor is key to both defense and their whole way of life.
Okay, let's zoom in on some very specific features now, starting with the elephant's incredible trunk.
The elephant's trunk, truly one of the most versatile organs in the animal kingdom. It's a fusion of the nose and upper lip, incredibly muscular and sensitive, used for breathing, drinking, smelling, touching, grasping.
It seems to do almost everything.
Pretty much. It functions as both a powerful tool and a delicate sensory organ. Think of it sucking up water to drink or spraying water to cool down.
How many muscles does it have? You hear incredible numbers.
Estimates vary, but often cited as having tens of thousands of muscles, maybe 40,000 or more. This gives it amazing strength lifting logs, but also incredible dexterity picking up a single leaf.
What else do they use it for?
Smelling, detecting ground vibrations, making sounds, greeting other elephants, dusting themselves, even snorkeling when swimming. The tip, especially in African elephants, acts like fingers for fine manipulation. It's a stunning example of specialized anatomy.
And elephants also have tusks.
Tusks, those long, curved, continuously growing teeth that stick out, found in elephants, boars, walruses, used for defense, digging for water or roots, lifting things, marking trees. They have multiple uses.
The example mentioned the narwhal tusk, inspiring myths. That's a great connection between biology and culture.
It really is. While elephant tusks are maybe more familiar, the narwhal's single, long, spiraled tusk, usually found in males, is incredibly mysterious. It's actually a modified tooth.
What's it for?
Still debated, but likely a complex sensory organ packed with nerve endings, possibly used for detecting changes in water temperature, salinity, pressure, maybe even finding food or communicating. Its resemblance to a unicorn horn definitely fueled legends for centuries. It shows how striking natural features can capture human imagination and shape our stories.
A powerful thought. Okay, from land giants to the ocean's apex predator, the orca.
Orcas are killer whales. Large marine mammals, instantly recognizable by their black and white markings. Known for high intelligence, complex social lives, and being the top predator in the ocean, found worldwide.
Highly social, living in pods.
Yes, very social, living in stable family groups called pods. They prey on a huge variety of marine life. Seeing a pod swim by a boat, slicing through the waves, is unforgettable.
Let's talk more about that intelligence and social structure. Being the apex predator of the whole ocean, that's quite a status.
Orcas are incredibly intelligent. They show problem-solving, complex communication, and remarkable social learning. Pods are often matrilineal, centered around related females and their offspring, lasting for generations.
And they have different cultures.
Yes, distinct pods develop unique hunting techniques, specific vocal dialects, learned in traditions passed down through generations. It's very much like culture. This allows them to use sophisticated cooperative hunting strategies to take down large prey like whales or seals off ice floes.
Different types specialize in different prey.
Exactly. Different ecotypes focus on fish, seals, or whales. They have no natural predators themselves. They are truly the dominant force in marine food webs, their intelligence and social bonds key to their success.
Amazing creatures. Okay, let's fly into the avian world now and also touch on insect lives, starting with birds acting together. A flock.
A flock. A group of birds, usually the same species, flying or feeding together. Flocking helps with protection from predators and finding food more easily. Think of migrating birds landing together in trees for safety.
That collective intelligence and safety in numbers, how does flocking actually help them survive?
It offers several advantages. More eyes and ears mean better predator detection. In a large flock, an individual's chance of being singled out by a predator is reduced the dilution effect.
And the confusing movement.
Right, the confusion effect, especially in those amazing swirling patterns called murmurations. It makes it hard for a predator to focus. Flocking also helps find patchy food sources. If one bird finds food, others notice. And flying in formation saves energy during migration. It's all about collective benefit.
From cooperation to a very different strategy. The cuckoo, known for something quite controversial.
A cuckoo. Medium-sized bird, often grayish-brown, famous for laying its eggs in the nests of other bird species. It relies entirely on these host parents to raise its young. It's called brood parasitism.
Okay, this is where I said it gets really interesting. From a biological view, not a human ethical one, what are the advantages of this parasitic behavior? And how do the host birds react?
From an evolutionary perspective, it's a highly successful strategy for the cuckoo. It avoids the huge energy costs of building a nest, incubating eggs, and feeding chicks. This allows a female cuckoo to lay many more eggs across multiple nests, boosting her reproductive output.
Do the host birds know?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Cuckoo eggs often mimic the host's eggs remarkably well. Some cuckoo chicks hatch early and push the host's eggs or chicks out of the nest to get all the food.
But the hosts fight back evolutionarily.
Yes, it's an ongoing arms race. Some host species get very good at spotting and rejecting cuckoo eggs. Others might abandon a parasitized nest. It's a classic example of coevolution, adaptation, and counter-adaptation driving diversity.
Moving to a bird with a much more positive image.
The dove.
Doves. Small birds, similar to pigeons, often symbols of peace, love, purity, especially white doves, associated with calmness, used widely in cultural and religious symbolism. Seeing one alight gently can feel quite serene.
How did they get such powerful positive symbolism? Is it just their appearance and sound? It seems to be a combination of factors. Their gentle cooing sound, their graceful flight, their tendency to form strong pair bonds, all contribute to associations with peace, love, innocence.
And specific stories.
Yes, like the dove returning to Noah's Ark with an olive branch, symbolizing peace and new beginnings in Abrahamic traditions. Or associations with Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love. It's a beautiful example of how human observation of nature gets woven into our deepest cultural symbols.
And then a bird of prey known for speed. The falcon.
Falcons. Fast, powerful predators, renowned for speed and precision in flight. They can be trained for hunting in the sport of falconry. Their shrill cry is quite distinctive.
Let's focus on that speed and precision, and tell us more about falconry highlighting their abilities.
Falcons are built for speed. Pointed wings, streamlined bodies. They're famous for the stoop, diving from great heights at incredible speeds, sometimes over 200 miles per hour, to strike prey midair. Fastest animals on the planet during that dive.
Wow, and falconry?
It's an ancient practice, using trained falcons to hunt wild game. It relies entirely on the falcon's natural hunting instincts, speed, agility, and intelligence, plus a strong bond between the falconer and the bird. It truly showcases their remarkable capabilities. That cry is like an announcement of their aerial dominance.
For pure visual splendor, though, it's hard to beat the peacock.
The peacock, the male peafowl, famous for that huge iridescent tail with the eye-like patterns. It's called a train, and it's used purely for display during courtship to attract the females, peahens.
Let's talk about sexual selection. How is the peacock's tail a prime example? What does it show about the pressures of reproduction?
The peacock's tail is the classic textbook example of sexual selection. This is where traits evolve because they increase mating success, even if they seem bad for survival.
Like that huge tail making it hard to fly or escape.
Exactly. It's heavy, cumbersome, makes them conspicuous, but its brilliance and size act as an honest signal to females. It basically says, look how healthy and strong I must be to survive despite this handicap. I have good genes.
So the female chooses the most impressive display.
Right. It shows that the drive to reproduce can lead to the evolution of incredibly elaborate, seemingly impractical traits. It's all about passing on those genes, demonstrating fitness through costly signals.
From the flamboyant to the highly intelligent, but sometimes misunderstood, the raven.
Ravens. Large black birds from the crow family, glossy feathers, a loud, distinctive call, known for being extremely intelligent, and they feature heavily in mythology and folklore.
Let's delve into that intelligence and mythological connection. It's fascinating how cultures have interpreted their behavior.
Ravens are incredibly smart. Among the most intelligent birds, they show advanced problem-solving, tool use, planning, memory. They can even remember specific past events. They're curious, adaptable learners.
And myths.
Their intelligence and dark appearance likely fueled their mythological roles. In Norse mythology, Odin had two ravens, Hugin, thought, and Munin, memory, who flew around the world gathering information for him. This reflects the observation of their intelligence and ability to seemingly know things. Many cultures see them as messengers, tricksters, or omens, connecting their observed cunning to deeper symbolic meanings.
We mentioned migration earlier. Swallows are a great example of migrants, often signaling spring or autumn.
Swallows, small, very agile birds, pointed wings, short bills. They catch insects in midair, classic migratory birds known for that incredible aerial agility and feeding on the wing. Seeing a flock doing aerial acrobatics is amazing.
Connect them back to migration. How does their agility help with their diet?
Swallows undertake long migrations, often thousands of miles, between breeding grounds in temperate areas and wintering grounds in warmer regions, following the seasonal abundance of insects.
Because they eat flying insects.
Exactly. Their whole life cycle is tied to insect availability. Their incredible agility, sharp turns, dives, swoops is essential for catching those fast-moving insects in midair. They are true masters of aerial hunting, perfectly adapted for that lifestyle.
And finally, for birds, one that took a completely different evolutionary path, the penguin.
Penguins. Flightless birds, black and white feathers, adapted for swimming, mostly southern hemisphere. Excellent swimmers using their wings as flippers. That contrast between waddling awkwardly on land and diving gracefully into the ocean is striking.
That raises a big question. What does being flightless mean for a bird, evolutionarily? What are the trade-offs compared to flying?
It's a major evolutionary trade-off. Flight offers escape and access to dispersed resources, but it's very energy-intensive and requires a light body. For penguins, the benefits of specializing for aquatic life outweighed the benefits of flight.
So they became better swimmers instead.
Exactly. They evolved dense bones, streamlined bodies, and wings transformed into powerful flippers. This makes them incredibly efficient underwater hunters of fish and krill. They gave up the sky for mastery of the sea. That clumsy waddle versus graceful dive perfectly illustrates this specialization.
Okay, let's buzz over to the insects now and their diverse roles. Starting with the dragonfly.
Dragonflies. Beautiful flying insects, often colorful wings found near water. Very agile flyers and predators of smaller insects. Seeing one land on a cattail, glistening with dew, is quite lovely.
Emphasize the dual role. agile flyer and predator. What makes their flight so agile?
Dragonflies are aerial acrobats. They have two pairs of wings they can beat independently. This allows them to hover, fly backwards, change direction instantly. Combined with their large compound eyes, giving them almost 360-degree vision, they are incredibly effective hunters of other flying insects like mosquitoes and flies. They really help control those populations near water.
From the dragonfly to the grasshopper.
Grasshoppers, leaping insects, long back legs for jumping, feed on plants, make that chirping sound. Generally harmless, but in large numbers they can be major agricultural pests. A swarm descending on crops is a terrifying sight for farmers.
Let's talk about that dual nature. Amazing jumpers, but potential pests. What makes a swarm so destructive?
Grasshoppers have amazing leg adaptations for those huge leaps. The chirping, stridulation, is for communication, often mating calls. But when conditions are right, their populations can explode and they can enter a migratory phase as locusts, forming massive swarms.
And a swarm just eats everything.
Millions, even billions, moving together, consuming vast amounts of vegetation incredibly quickly. They can strip fields bare in hours, causing famine and economic disaster. It highlights the potential for a natural population to become an ecological problem under certain circumstances.
And finally, for insects today, the wasp.
Wasps, often recognized by black and yellow stripes and known for their sting. Predatory insects can be aggressive if threatened. You might hear that buzzing drone near fallen fruit as they look for sugar or hunt other insects.
Let's unpack their predatory nature and the sting. What's their ecological role beyond just stinging?
The sting is primarily a defense mechanism, used when they feel their nest is threatened. But many wasps are incredibly beneficial predators. They hunt other insects and spiders, often paralyzing them to feed their larvae. This makes them important natural pest controllers.
So they're not all aggressive.
Not at all. While social wasps like yellowjackets can be aggressive near food, many solitary wasps are quite docile. Many are also important pollinators. Their ecological role in regulating insect populations and pollination is often underestimated due to fear of their sting.
Good to keep in mind. Okay, moving to some formidable reptiles and others, starting with the crocodile.
Crocodiles, large aquatic reptiles, powerful jaws, long tails, found in tropical rivers and swamps, masters of ambush, often lurking just below the surface, waiting for prey. That image of just the eyes above the water is classic and chilling.
Focus on that mastery of ambush. What makes them so good at it?
They are perfectly built for it. Flattened bodies, eyes, and nostrils on top of the head allow them to stay hidden underwater. They can hold their breath for a very long time. Then explosive speed bursts from the water, clamping down with the strongest bite force of any animal. They often use the death roll to subdue and dismember prey. Ancient, efficient predators.
Contrasting with venomous snakes, we have the python.
Pythons, large non-venomous snakes that kill by constriction. Powerful constrictors, sometimes kept as pets. Seeing a large one basking shows their impressive size.
Contrast them with venomous snakes again. How does that constriction work? The power involved must be immense.
Instead of venom, they use pure muscle power. After striking, they wrap tightly around the prey, squeezing harder each time the prey exhales. This cuts off blood flow or causes suffocation. It requires incredible strength throughout their body. They also have jaws that can unhinge to swallow very large prey whole. It's a different but equally effective hunting strategy.
And finally, the crab.
Crabs. Sea creatures, 8 legs, 2 pincers, hard shell. Many live in the sea, but some are adapted to land too. Known for that sideways walk and strong pincers, used for defense and feeding. Fishermen setting traps for them is a common sight.
Discuss that mix of water and land life, and their unique features like the walk and pincers.
Crabs show great versatility. While most are aquatic, many live on land, scurrying across beaches or digging burrows. Their hard exoskeleton protects them. They molt it to grow. That sideways walk is efficient for them on varied terrain. And the pincers, or chelipeds, are amazing tools, crushing shells, catching food, digging, defense, even communication, like waving them in displays. They're successful across many environments.
Wow, what an incredible journey that was. From the fundamental differences between cold-blooded and warm-blooded, through to things like camouflage, migration, and then all those specific animals. The jaguar's bite, the peacock's tail. It really shows how much depth there is behind these C1 level words.
Absolutely. Learning these terms isn't just about vocabulary. It's about understanding the life strategies, the adaptations, the ecological connections. It gives you a much richer view of the natural world.
Yeah, this deep dive definitely felt like a shortcut to appreciating that complexity and wonder, much more than just reading definitions.
That was the goal. to get beyond the surface level.
So as we wrap up, here's something for you, our listeners, to think about. Consider how interconnected all these concepts are. How each animal, with its unique way of life, the meerkat's vigilance, the cuckoo's strategy, the orca's social structure, plays a part in the bigger picture. The delicate balance of life on Earth.
And how does understanding these advanced terms, these deeper biological and ecological ideas, change how you see the natural world? Does it deepen your appreciation for that intricate web of life? What new questions does it make you want to ask about the creatures all around us? Maybe look a little closer next time you're out and about.
Really great questions to ponder. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. If you enjoyed this exploration and want more deep dives into fascinating topics, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.